Okay, so we're live, everybody. It's Christian again. How are you guys today? I hope you all are doing well during this quarantine situation we have. So I thought I'd make a video today because I wanted to talk about a few things. And what I want to talk about today is disabilities and stereotypes. Now, what does that mean exactly? Like, what I mean by that is, for example, people could look at you, like, obviously, I have a disability, I have CP or cerebral palsy, like I stated before, and people get the wrong impression. Everybody has different outlooks on life and how they perceive things. And a lot of times, when you do have a disability, you do get, like, stared at or, like, questioned and everything. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today and what that feels like in my opinion. Um, okay, so hang on, I just gotta get situated here. Got all these napkins and I gotta get comfortable. Hang on. Okay. So basically, I grew up obviously with cerebral palsy. My classmates in elementary school knew that I had a disability, so they didn't really think anything of it. They just thought that that's how it was because they didn't really know anything different. But like when used to go out in public, I would get like questioned sometimes about my disability, and it didn't really bother me because I would be happy to explain um, how everything worked. Excuse me a second. My throat's very dry today. Okay. There we go. So I would be happy to explain how everything worked, and I just told them that like I had like I don't want to say issues, but I had like different things going on with me that I could not control. Um, and a lot of people would be like a little weirded out by that because some people weren't used to seeing anybody in a wheelchair, so they didn't know what it was like, and that like weirded them out a little bit, which I could understand why. But like, if you don't know, don't judge. That's what I say, because a lot of people like they look at you. It's like, oh, you have a disability. They automatically think you're like retarded or something. And I know that's not the correct term to use, but that's how I feel. Like a lot of people that I used to go to school with basically would treat me like an infant because they thought I didn't have the mental capacity to comprehend and understand different things that were going on, and I do because I graduated high school. I have the awards behind me. I graduated high school with high honors and honors with distinction, so I must have done something right. But a lot of people would say like I was like a 2 year old or something. Like they would talk like all babyish to me, like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need something? What's the matter? Do you want to talk about it?" It's like, and that's where the whole stereotype thing comes in, because like they looked at me, but they didn't see me. They just saw like a person in a wheelchair that couldn't defend himself. And it really did bother me because um like even in elementary school, I would go to an after school program, and some of the kids like wouldn't like interact with me because they would be nervous. Like, I don't know what if they thought I was gonna do something or like whatever, but a lot of the kids like didn't bother with me because they weren't used to seeing like a kid in a wheelchair. So they wouldn't like really interact with me because they were like nervous or something. I don't know. Um, but like that just goes to show you how like disabilities could affect people. And like I know we moved on from it a lot today. Like it's 2020, so the world has gotten better. But a lot of people like they look at people with disabilities and they automatically think, oh, here he or she is stupid. And that's totally not the case. If you give us a chance to like get involved with you, you wouldn't know that we have like minds and we have thoughts just like everybody else. And it really bothers me that people like have this stigma. Like it's just like, oh, he can't do anything. He's in a wheelchair, or she has like Down syndrome. What could she do? It's like just because you have a disability doesn't mean you're like worthless or something. And that's where the title of this video comes in, because like it's a stereotypical opinion that you don't even like have any bias or like have any facts over. If you don't know the situation, don't judge. And if you want to get involved with me, you can. But like don't judge me if you don't know. That's what I say. Because this world has gotten a lot better, but like I said before, but like people still have their opinions and they're still gonna believe what they want. And it's basically like the blacks, like people could look at a black person, and I know it's 2020, but I'm just using that as an example, so don't get offended if you're African American and you're watching this video. But like people will automatically look at a black person and they'll think, oh, he's a slave, or she's a slave, or she can't read, or she can't comprehend because she's black. And that's basically what certain people did with me, because I was in a wheelchair. So they would like try to like push me around like I was basically a doll, kind of, because they thought like I was basically like a fun toy to like push around and like pamper, which is totally not the case. And the teachers would like talk to like different kids like in my elementary school, like even because that's where this all started. Like, and they would always say, he's not a baby, like, because like people didn't treat me any different, but they just thought like I couldn't defend myself, which I could, because like if you had an issue, I would go up to like that person and defend you, and I wouldn't be afraid of it. But people thought like I couldn't handle certain situations, that I would get like too upset, or like they thought I couldn't handle different things. And that's totally not the case. Like even like I used to go to a school called Lark, and like it was for people that had physical and intellectual disabilities, but they would always like treat me like I had an intellectual disability rather. And what that means is like Down syndrome or autism or stuff like that. It's like I don't have that. An intellectual disability is the polar opposite from a physical disability. But just because I was in a wheelchair, that's how I was treated, like I was stupid or something. And that really did bother me. Because like I said, if you don't know, don't judge. Like, because I was at my after school program one time. And we were playing a game. And this boy called me the kid in the wheelchair. Which isn't really the nicest thing to say. Excuse me, I can't even talk today. But like that's what like people saw me as. Well, some people, not every person. But that's what people saw me as. They just saw me as like this kid in the wheelchair that couldn't defend himself or couldn't comprehend anything. And that's totally not the case. Like I graduated high school, like I said, with high honors with distinction. I received my diploma. So I'm very capable. But like people won't just automatically think. They'll look at the wheelchair and they'll say, like, oh, maybe he doesn't understand, or maybe like he's like mentally unstable or something like that. And that's totally not the case at all. So that's why I decided to create this video. Again, I'm sorry for not posting yesterday, but I was a little under the weather, so I didn't feel like doing anything at all. But that's why I created this video. I wanted to talk to you guys about if you see a person with a disability, it doesn't mean they're weird or odd. They just have certain challenges that they have to face every day. And maybe if this world wasn't so stereotypical, hence the title of this video, it would be better off. Because we're so wrapped up in our warped little minds, and we think crazy thoughts, every person with a handicap is stupid. And that's totally not the case. I saw this kid with Down syndrome on TV, and he was working at a grocery store, and people calls him a retard or something like that. And I thought to myself, I said, how inappropriate is that when they don't even know the kid and they don't even know what's going on? Bother me, because here the kid is trying to put here's the kid trying to put the groceries in the bag, and people were saying oh, this is the retarded line, this must be the slow line. And I thought that was so inappropriate, because the poor man is trying to do his job as best he can, but they're calling him a retard. They're saying that he's slow and everything, which is extremely inappropriate in my opinion. But it just goes to show you what society is like. Granted, this was a show called What Would You Do? So it was fake, but this is what society is like nowadays. They automatically see a person with a disability and they say, oh, he's crazy, or oh, he's stupid. He doesn't understand, or she doesn't understand. And that's totally not the case. We're able to do everything everybody else does, just maybe in a different way. I may have to do things slower than the average person, but it doesn't mean I'm stupid. And I know this video may be sensitive for certain viewers, but I feel I had to touch base with that, because if you see a person with a challenge or an obstacle, help them out. Do you need help with something? Don't judge them if you don't know. Don't call them a retard or something like that. Rule. Yeah, just help them out and do the best you can. Because I always say we're in this together. We may have certain that we have to face, and we may have issues of our own that we have to deal with. But in the end, we're all people. It doesn't matter if we have a disability. It doesn't matter if we can't speak or we can't walk or anything like that. If you don't know the person, don't judge. Because there's so much good in a lot of people, and people just need to take time to see it. And, that's why I have to make this video. Because, people will automatically look at a person with a disability and they'll say, oh, he's stupid. He doesn't understand. And people don't really realize how hurtful that really is, because we do understand. I'm not in depth. I could hear you. If you're making comments about me. Not that everyone has. I come from a very diverse community where people are accepting. But I just wanted to talk about this today because certain people do have that mindset, where oh, he must be a retard, or he must be brain dead or something like that. It's no, that's totally not the case, That's not the case at all. So if you don't know, don't judge. That's what I say. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully this video gave you more of a perspective about people with disabilities and the challenges we face. We're all in this together, and that's it. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope my channel gives you hope and peace of mind, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.